What was your most expensive fuck up of 2019? A few months ago I bought a $190 Visa gift card at Family Dollar, only to drop it into a manhole on my way home. I just got my new social security card and driver's license and changed my name legally after getting married last November. Guess who's getting divorced and needs to change their name again? This girl. I was engaged in June. I was no longer engaged in September. Whole lot of money down the drain. I work at a company that handles personal health info. I work in the mail room stuffing those packets. I stuffed 2 people's files in one packet and the company ended up getting sued for $1.2 million. My boiler wasn't working, so got a plumber. A line was pinched, or maybe had frozen. It worked fine when the plumber got there, 160 pounds, and he didn't do anything. So apparently not all brake pads squeak when they need to be replaced. Sometimes you find out when you hear the horrible loud grinding noise of metal on metal and assume you're about to die. New brake pads and rotors all around, I suppose. Not mine, but my wife's. Left her wallet sitting in the passenger seat when she went into work. Came back to a smashed window and no wallet. So just over $400 to replace the window. Deductible for the insurance was $500, and about $100 in cash that was in said wallet. Plus the headache of replacing all of her IDs, credit cards, etc. Bought $200 worth of wine for a party, left it under the bottom of the cart because it was raining, went home, realized there was no wine, went back to store, wine was gone. Bought $200 worth of more wine, sad face. We forgot to turn the outside water off and remove the hose before freezing weather set in. I guess that fuck up was technically in 2018, but come spring we go to use the hose and kinda shrug at the low water pressure. Yeah, all that extra water that should have been coming out. Definitely streaming into our basement ceiling. We had to tear a bunch of drywall and carpet and stuff out, and it'll cost several thousand to fix when we do. Emptying my transmission fluid thinking it was oil, then filled up oil with extra oil thinking I had just drained it. Continued to drive truck with no trans fluid and double the amount of oil. I was contemplating moving out of my apartment but didn't want to pay the lease break fee of $2,600, so my apartment sold me on the idea of a re-rental. Meaning I would pay $500 for my apartment to be listed for rental, and if someone moved in, I would be in the clear. $500 and I would be out scot-free. The only caveat was that I had to pay the rent until that happened. If someone moved in mid-month, I get the rest back. Okay, bet. Well, I pay rent the first month thinking my apartment will go fast since it's the only 1-bedroom floor plan without expensive upgrades, but I found out that they don't list it as available on the website. So, it doesn't get rented in month 1. Boom, $1,300 gone. The apartment is empty and I have paid for the move and move-in costs for the new place. That means I am now paying rent in my empty old apartment and my new place. At the end of the first month, I decide I can't afford to pay rent in 2 places again, so I tell them that I'll just go ahead and pay the lease break fee thinking I'll just suck it up and be done with it. They say okay. However, caveat number 2 is that I now have to give a 30-day notice to vacate, even though I have already vacated, and then pay the fee. So I had to pay yet another month of rent in this empty apartment and the lease break fee in the same month and the rent at my new place. If I had just paid the lease break fee originally, I would have saved so much. And this is why I don't gamble. I got killed in a video game, slammed my controller down onto my laptop and broke both the controller and the laptop. Doing $400 worth of food shopping, then getting into a car accident which destroyed the food in my trunk, had to get the car fixed and do food shopping again. Didn't cap the tooth, I got a 2K root canal done 2 years ago. Split the tooth, now I'm looking at another 5K for an implant. Prices not inflated for pain. I took a blacksmithing class over the summer. I really liked it. I expect to be out several grand by next summer. Tools are expensive. My vision coverage at work is $300 every 2 years, or what I should have read, every 24 months. I bought new glasses for $645 at 22 months. When I tried to submit it, it got denied and can't get my $300, so I just sucked up the whole cost. My body fucked up, not me. I got preeclampsia and subsequently had my baby very prematurely because of it. I was unable to go back to work after my paid leave ended because it was still before my due date. I wasn't going to take a baby to daycare who still should be growing inside me. I finally was able to start daycare when the baby was 2.5 months past the due date, a little over 4 months old. Between the medical bills, the price of gas going between home and the high-end hospital, paying for food at the hospital, and the work missed, I was out a lot of money. But positive side, my baby is happy and about as healthy as can be expected after being born 2 months early. I left a nearly full box of Raisin Bran on the kitchen table, left to hang out with a friend. Came back home to find that between my 3 dogs, they'd ripped into and eaten all of it. Just now paid off the $3,000 vet bill, finally. All the dogs survived. Finished school that I paid out of pocket for, went into my internship, and absolutely hated the field. Decided I'm going back to school for something else. Long story short, now I'm paying child support while she sits on her ass. I got blown up by a lawn tractor in April because I was in a rush to get it fixed and hired the wrong guy to fix it. I even got pics. https://imager.com/gallery/davomnp. Paid $100 for something from these stupid Instagram fashion shops, never received it, and they never returned my money. I spent about $130 on a homecoming dress and shoes for a homecoming that I was only 50% sure I had a ticket to. I didn't have a ticket. Getting a job with private insurance. Turns out Medicaid is a sweet program. 2 back surgeries. Same procedure, same doc, same hospital. Under Medicaid it was $4. Under private insurance so far it is $3,000, but still getting all the bills. And #X200B. Can't afford to have a damn job. Happened this morning, thanks for reminding me. Forgot to buy my monthly train ticket to Vienna. Paid a hefty fine of €105, which would have been €135 if I hadn't paid on the spot. Not necessarily embarrassing since I looked prepared to present my ticket, which I then realized I haven't actually bought at that moment. Got caught up in a bidding war for a Switch and ending up paying marginally more for a second-hand Nintendo Switch package than would be in the shops. I'm so tight with money I literally couldn't stop thinking about it for days lol. Went up to Boston for a bachelor party for my soon-to-be brother-in-law, wife's sister's fiancé. Got up late Friday and met up with the boys, had maybe 3 drinks between 11 and 1. Got out of the bleacher bar and everyone wanted to head back to the hotel. Begin to realize I haven't eaten in 12 Oh hey, sausage and peppers cart LFG. Get back to the hotel about an hour later and stomach feels like just got done on the Gravitron. Barely make it to the bathroom just to honk in the tub several times. Need to clean it out with a towel because onions don't go down the drain so good. Wake up next morning, like 3 hours later, and spend from 6 a.m. to 1:30 p.m. on the toilet cannoliing aka puking into the tub whilst I shed. It finally ends and I sleep till 6 p.m. literally missed the whole day Saturday. Great start so far. We go to dinner and the groom disappears to take a phone call. Probably the fiancé calling about some shit the baby did while he was gone, whatever. Comes back after like 30 minutes and we get the check and go. He's silent. Come to find out his 14-year-old dog took a turn for the worse and probably won't make it through the night. He decides he needs to leave and see the dog, so now we are at a bachelor-less bachelor party. Weird, quiet, awkward night ensues and we all just give up and go back to the hotel. Next morning we get up and check out of the hotel. My buddy and I are driving home in his car. We get on the Mass Pike and the car starts shaking and sputtering, check engine lights on and everything. We pull off on Starro and into a hotel parking lot and the car dies the fuck out. Haha, funny story, let's figure it out. We can't get tickets on a train because they're all full and the only open one is late that night. Buddy has all his work gear in the car too, so it's impossible to carry it all. Hey, let's rent a car. AAA comes and gets the car, we Uber to the rental place, good to go. Call rental place a mile down the road and book the last car 15 minutes before they close. What luck. Get okay the Mass Pike round 2. Make it outside the city and no sooner does a full-grown buck comes flying over the guardrail and into the hood of the car. Car is fucked. MSP give us a lift to their barracks and let us hang till friend's brother can come get us. So to recap. Bachelor party $500. Food poisoning $10, water/meds. Groom's dog dying priceless, dog is still alive today. Car breakdown $300 part. Totaled rental $8,000. Don't wanna leave the house ever again. Realized I booked a flight for the wrong day, but it was the most basic level of seating so I couldn't get it refunded. So now I'm out $200, at least, and I'm gonna have to ask my roommate to pay a little extra for me on rent this month. Lost wallet. Got it back missing $400. Some dude came to my front door in July telling me his company would come out and spray my house for bugs, and knock down all the wasps' nests and it would only cost me $50. Sweet. He told me that normally they come out every couple of months, but I can call and cancel my contract if I wanted to after the first $50 visit. He did not tell me that there would be a fee to cancel my contract. So I could either pay them $80 every 2 months or I could cancel for $20 less than the amount of having them out every 2 months. Fuck you Hawks. Long story short, my left knee's dislocated, and my right has a hairline fracture. Worst part? I've officially sank a school, where I was injured, into $850,000 of debt for my injuries, so it costed me mobility, and the school 5 teacher layoffs. Bumped my car into a wall. Slow speed, just barely clipped it, but it was pretty expensive to repair. Still feel like a moron about it. Bought a $200 vanilla Visa to buy a Halloween costume online. Website doesn't accept prepaid gift cards. Oh well, now I just have a gift card to use. That should have been the end of it. I come home from work that night and check the balance of the gift card, in my wallet the entire night, and now the balance is mysteriously only 80 cents with a pending transaction for Neiman fucking Marcus. Long story short, the card info was likely in someone else's system and they drained the card as soon as it was activated, bought at a CVS, and now I'm in a dispute with Visa attempting to prove to them that I did not make that purchase. I'm almost positive I'll never see that money again, but I'm sure as hell telling everyone I know to stay away from vanilla gift cards. Pulling a nail out my tire's side wall. Joining /r/Wall Street Bits. Went to get my upper lobes pierced. I told the piercer I was looking for jewelry in the $100-$150 range and she showed me a bunch of pieces. Chose a pair and got the piercings. When I went to pay she charged me $1,200. Turns out, the pair I chose were black heckin' diamonds and were not in my agreed on price range, and no, they do not accept returns. I ignored my sore tooth towards in 2018 and have been paying for the recovery of it for the majority of 2019. Not selling a vehicle before the registration renewal was due. I got depressed and quit my job in the beginning of June. Haven't got a new one and my savings are running very thin. Grab hist here. Every year I design the calendar for a local rugby club. As they had a lot of sponsor in common from the past year, I took the old one but forgot to change the calendar from 2018 to 2019. My mistake costed me €780, $870. Ordered a 85A cartridge for my printer online. Cartridge didn't work. Couldn't get a claim from the website or the logistics company. $60 ruined. Hired the wrong guys to remodel our bathroom. I ordered the wrong Christmas present, but realized too late and shipping back costs $3.50. So I paid $3.50 for nothing. Thought my fuel pump went out on my car. Well, first I thought it was my fuel filter that needed replacing. Tried cranking it a few times to find out it wasn't. Then replaced the fuel filter controller, tried cranking it a few times, wasn't that either. Then fucked around with the fuel pump. Tried cranking it a few times. It wasn't. Threw my arms up in frustration and got it towed into the dealership. Turns out the timing belt had snapped, and the way VW engines are, the cranking I had done to try to diagnose the filter/controller/pump managed to brick my engine. They gave me $300 for my fucking spotless VW GDI with only 100k miles on it. Only problem was that needed a whole new engine. Sad face. Rented a car for a day, didn't elect to take the comprehensive insurance because it's just for one day and we won't need it. Sure enough, that day on my way to work I had an accident and had to pay the $850 excess. It was a very expensive one-day hire. Spent $50 one night on Ubers to and from the club and the entry fee, just to leave after 15 minutes because my friend got bounced for being stupid. That was a quiet ride home. Let my friend ride a dirt bike. Dude wrecked it so bad I now am taking it apart for anything salvageable. My family is trying to save money by not going out to eat. My mom just decided to buy us all tickets to go to Universal Studios for my birthday. I got a phone call from the power company that my bill was past due and my power was about to be shut off. I'm a little disorganized and I was very sleep deprived at the moment, so I just paid my bill over the phone. I was a little confused because I never got an email confirming the payment. When I got home I dug up an old bill to check my account balance and remembered I'd paid my bill just 3 weeks before. My dumb ass got scammed by one of the oldest tricks in the book. $200 gone. I misplaced a $1,000 and didn't realize for a while, and now there's no chance of finding it. Got scammed twice. Once for concert tickets and the other for $600. Not hiding my wallet from my sister, it's on 20 pounds, but it's the only fuck up I made involving money. Unfortunately my most expensive fuck up isn't even my fault. I got rear-ended 3 weeks ago and my car was totaled. It wasn't worth tons but got the job done, and now I'm stuck in a shitty situation where I will probably have to buy a car that costs more than the money I'm getting from the settlement. It also does not help that I went through the Easy Pass lane with no Easy Pass in the rental car I'm using right now because I'm used to having an Easy Pass in my old car. No idea how much that's gonna cost me, but I'm not really looking forward to finding out. Getting the car to the racetrack and go to the point where the engine didn't take it and blowing it up. Getting a new engine and the car set up back was the most single expensive thing, even more than purchasing the car itself. Overextended while parking, tried to back up to correct it and the curb just ripped my front bumper off, so that was fun. Paid for prep courses for an exam, just before the law concerning the exam material changed. Ugh. $500 down the drain. Quit my job and started a new one. Took a huge pay cut, but ultimately I'm happy I'm no longer with that boss. I spoke up when discriminated against at my workplace and lost my job. Flooded my bathroom, I didn't know the toilet was running. Bought a new strut for a car that broke down 3 days later. Fell off a roof and cut my finger, cost $1,200 for stitches at the hospital. I fell down the stairs. I have been off work nearly 6 months with a knee injury, no pay. I had to get new glasses, went to a show and forgot to swap them out. They went flying in the pit and ended up in several pieces. Had to get another pair. My dad totaled his recently purchased car by hitting a deer that came out of nowhere. Michiganders represent. I dropped my AirPods in a lake, they aren't waterproof. Fell for a Kirby sales pitch. We had just got home from out of town and they show up. This guy stayed for like 5 hours and wouldn't stop vacuuming and talking it up until we were just tired and agreed to buy it. Literally the next day we called to have it picked up. What sucks is they took our vacuum as a trade-in and we called every day for a month but never got it back. They tried to bring us someone else's cheap vacuum saying it's basically an upgrade from our original. We sent them on their way. We never actually lost any money, but we almost did. I've heard of quite a few people who still got charged even after canceling the contract. We were lucky for the most part,